Greetings. On behalf of the Health Studies Collegium Foundation, welcome. Welcome to our Rethink Health webinar. The topic is functional detoxification. Now, functional detoxification is a kind of complicated subject, and I'm going to mostly tell you stories and weave in some evidence, weave in some data, some of which is original to our group, some of which is a summary of others. But come with me on a journey to understand functional detoxification and why survival in the 21st century requires a proactive approach, a personalized, evidence-based, but really active approach to functional detoxification. Now, my name is Russell Jaffe. I'm an internist physician and a biochemist. I'm a certified clinical nutritionist. I maintain a fellow status as a certified clinical pathologist, a clinical nutritionist. I'm a fellow of the American College of Allergy, Asthma, and Immunology, and I'm a fellow of the Clinical Immunology Society, as well as the American Medical Laboratory Immunologist and an overseas fellow of the Royal Society of Medicine. I am founder and chairman and CEO of PERQUE Integrative Health, ELISA Act Biotechnologies, and ARMJHRX, as well as being a fellow of the Health Studies Collegium Foundation. Now, I would suggest that PERQUE detox program is needed. It's needed now. It's needed by everyone in the 21st century because guess what? The 19th century was really pretty benign. The 20th century was a challenge. The 21st century is about survival. It's about whether our children will be fertile. It's about whether our parents will remember us. It's about whether we will have heart disease, cancer, chronic inflammatory and autoimmune diseases or not. And a lot of it is choice. So stay tuned. In the 20th century, as you can see on this slide, industrial chemicals, chemicals in our environment, what we call xenotoxins, which is just a fancy way of saying stuff that's around us, have increased 15-fold. Boy, that's a lot. And that's 1,500%. And that's a lot. So there's a lot of industrial chemicals around, some of which disrupt our hormones, some of which are toxic metals that poison us, some of which are solvent residues that uncouple the molecular machinery of our cells, some of which are radioactive and exercise a different kind of stress. If you're pregnant, if you know someone who's a woman, if you care at all about fertility, you would want to know that there are 43 chemicals at least, and maybe more, that have been identified in the cord blood. In the blood, when a woman gives birth, you can see that she and her baby have been bathed by over 43 xenotoxins, 43 environmental chemicals that are present in variable amounts. Some a lot, some a little, and together we know too little about the synergistic effects. We know too little about the interactive effects. What we know is that these things didn't used to be there, and now they are, and they are somehow associated with the epidemic of epidemics of neurodevelopmental problems and autism spectrum disorder and Down syndrome T21, etc. And who says this? Well, the Federal Reserve and the Environmental Health Perspectives Journal from the N. Haynes, the National Health and Nutrition Survey. These are very conventional, very middle of the road, evidence-based approaches that we can look at the literature and say, at least the problem is this big. And it actually might be much bigger. This might be the tip of the iceberg, if you will, by metaphor, and we really need to be able to increase our antitoxin intake in proportion to our toxin exposure. Now, I'm going to start with a simple case that illustrates what we're talking about to whet your appetite. Nick was a 16-year-old young fellow, an athlete with joint aches and acne. A lot of 16-year-old youngsters have that. We recommended the C cleanse to find out how much protective antioxidant ascorbates he needed to deal with the oxidative stress of his day. We recommended the PERQUE 30-day advanced detox plan and an immune-tolerant diet, along with PERQUE Guard meals so that he would have easy to digest immune and glutathione boosting meals while he was substituting for the immune reactors and enhancing his nutrition with quality supplements. After 30 days, the practitioner added PERQUE Joint Guard and PERQUE Mag Plus Guard to rebuild the joints and provide magnesium to buffer cell acids and to enhance the hundreds of enzyme catalyst functions that magnesium helpfully participates in. The patient reported after a short period of time no joint aches, some acne improvement, and when continuing with PERQUE Way Guard and other supplements, now reports that the acne is resolved. Over the last decades, I've been contacted by many friends who either have acne or their children have acne or someone they know has acne and it hasn't responded to anything, and we put them on a nutritionally enhanced regimen. And we ask them to substitute for some of the things that are preventing them from repairing and enhancing their immune defense burden. And they call back or they see me and they give me a hug, virtually or physically, because the acne goes away. And when you have acne, you're deficient in something. Your immune system is not defending and repairing you. And by the way, since the immune system also does anti-cancer work, you want it to be able to defend you. Now, when we talk about this PERQUE detox program and the environmental burdens that are related, what we mean, if we look at this complex slide starting in the top center, that the liver often gets overloaded because of stuff we eat or drink, and then we have detoxification problems, and that leads to what's called oxidative stress caused by free radicals. Free radical production promotes health problems and pain, swelling, discomfort, heat, inflammation. Often we treat this with conventional drugs designed to suppress symptoms, but that just enhances the leaky gut, it enhances the lack of repair, it enhances the dysbiosis, the maldigestion, the overall, what we call leaky gut, the overall problems in the microbiome and the metabolome, and that then further overloads the liver. This is an example of a vicious cycle. It exists because people haven't really done the PERQUE detox program, but we want them to know the environmental benefits, the personal but also general benefits of the PERQUE detox program. If I review this in a slightly different way, we start in the upper left with the liver. The liver is primarily responsible for detoxification, but so is the stomach and the spleen, which you see to the next on the right. So is the lungs, which you see further to the far right. And then we come around to the kidneys and finally back to the skin and the intestines. And there are primary, secondary, tertiary, first line, second line, third line approaches to getting the bad stuff out and keeping the good stuff in that have to do with the liver and the spleen. They have to do with the lungs and the kidneys. They have to do with the skin and the rectum. All of this is involved with healthy detox specifics and systemic relief from discomfort, from inflammation, from immune burdens, from repair deficits. Pro-repair detox nutrients include a personalized C cleanse. Of course, you use 100% L-ascorbate, fully reduced and buffered, but this is a way of finding out how much oxidative stress the person is under and how much antioxidant ascorbate they need to cleanse, and 3/4, the proportion of that is needed on a daily basis. The second is the superfoods, the dark fruits. Pomegranates is an example of a dark fruit. Dark super fruit and foods are full of polyphenolics. The colors are the polyphenolics. The polyphenolics extend ascorbate and make everything work better. We need 10 to 100 grams of polyphenolics when we're in an inflamed or autoimmune condition. We also want to be able to methylate. We want to be able to make things more or less soluble. We want to be able to move things around due to methylation, and that's where balanced B complex comes in. Of course, B complex, but of course balanced. And if you need a bunch of folate, you need a bunch of the other B vitamins. You need all of the natural B vitamins in some balanced proportion to be healthier. Biodetox, ascorbate and greens. You can blend healthier greens like watercress and omega-3 rich greens that can be part of a healthier detox program. You can add some ascorbate, some recrystallized, fully buffered ascorbate, and do biological detox. Then there are the high sulfur foods. The high sulfur foods are detox foods. The high sulfur foods are G, O, B, and E. G for garlic, G for ginger, O for onions, B for brassica sprouts, like broccoli sprouts, and E for eggs. And yes, duck eggs and goose eggs are even more beneficial than chicken eggs. And yes, healthier chickens are healthier than unhealthy chickens. But you want garlic, ginger, onions, brassica sprouts, and eggs to be a staple in your diet, not a condiment, really a regular part of the diet. Roast a whole bulb of garlic. Chop up a whole thumb-sized piece of ginger. Chop up a whole red onion or several shallots. Take a handful or two of broccoli sprouts. Take a couple of goose eggs or a few more of duck eggs and mix them in with whatever else you're eating. It'll be yummy and it'll be healthier. Omega-3 EPA DHA, pure uncontaminated micellized fish oils that have been distilled under nitrogen for better uptake in forms that are enhanced in their uptake, but also where you've removed toxic metals and solvent residues because of the distillation and doing that under nitrogen. So there's a little bit of technical detail. We have chapters and references to support the evidence for all of what we're saying, and I include those on most of the slides. Now, the PERQUE Personalized Detox Program can be done in 1 or more months. If you're a regular detoxifier, you can do it in 30 days. That's the advanced program. If you're just starting, you might want to do it in 2 or 3 months. You might want to take it a little more gently. You want to use PERQUE Liva Guard Forté, as you see in the upper left, and just to the right of that, PERQUE Detox in Guard. These are to support liver detoxification and to provide phase 1, phase 2, phase 3 detoxification, and there's a synergy between PERQUE Liva Guard Forté and PERQUE Detox in Guard. If you need CoQ10, you want to take it in 100% rice bran oil, micellized in 100% rice bran oil, along with tocopherols. Then the MitoGuard is the soft gel of choice. Then the CoQ10 can be really dispersed in a high uptake rice bran oil, along with vitamins E, tocopherols, and that's what is PERQUE MitoGuard 100 plus. Contains 100 milligrams of micellized CoQ10, along with 100 IU of mixed natural tocopherols, also in that same rice bran oil for enhanced uptake. Because if you need CoQ10, you need more vitamin E in order to protect the membranes and make that shuttle, that electron shuttle, that CoQ10 electron shuttle work better. Then you have PERQUE Potent C Guard capsules and PERQUE Potent C Guard powder that works along with PERQUE Repair Guard or PERQUE Pain Guard, the polyphenolics, and you need both. You need the ascorbates and you need the polyphenolics. You need them separately. It would be nice to take everything in one, but one size doesn't fit all, so you need the amount of ascorbate you need based on the C cleanse, and you need the polyphenolics that you need to enhance and extend the repair process. Now, I mentioned the importance of fish oils, the PERQUE EPA DHA Guard. This is the preferred fish oil distilled under nitrogen. You remove the toxic metals, you remove the solvent residues, you concentrate the beneficial active EPA DHA, and that is what PERQUE EPA DHA Guard is, a soft gel preferred form. Magnesium buffers the cell acids. Magnesium protects omega-3 fatty acids and other essential fats. Magnesium is the answer to metabolic acidosis. Magnesium is the answer to the loss of elective protective factors. Magnesium is very important to cell function, but it's hard to get in and it runs out as fast as it comes in. Oh dear. We need magnesium, but it's hard to get it in, and it runs out as fast as we get it in. So it'll either give us the runs or it'll run out of us, but that's not what we want. So we at PERQUE Integrative Health figured out how to enhance the uptake of PERQUE Mag Plus Guard, along with choline citrate, and that combination enhances choline, acetylcholine, and cholinergic bile salts. That combination provides the citrate that chaperones the magnesium into the cell. Then the citrate and the magnesium and the ascorbate can go into the mitochondria inside the cell and recharge the battery so that it can get back to doing elective protective work and not just survival work. So we need PERQUE Liva Guard Forté, and we need PERQUE Detox In Guard. We need PERQUE MitoGuard 100 Plus. We need PERQUE Potency Guard and PERQUE Repair Guard. We need PERQUE EPA DHA Guard. We need PERQUE Mag Plus Guard and choline citrate. Do we need water, oil, or gasoline or diesel fuel in our vehicles? We need all of the above. Do we need each of these? Yes. Do we need all of them? Probably. You decide. My suggestion is all of the above until you are restored to a high level of asymptomatic health, until primary prevention is the rule, not the exception. And that's what's the heart of the PERQUE Personalized Detox program. Now, this PERQUE Detox program detoxifies, it builds glutathione, it's radioprotective. It has cysteine and cysteine and methionine. It's phase 1, phase 2, phase 3 combined detoxification. You want your phase 1 system to make things more water soluble. You want your phase 2 system to detoxify. You want your phase 3 system to use the bile, the lipotropic factors. You want phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. If they ask which do you want, phase 1 or phase 2 or phase 3, the answer is all of the above. I want phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3. You get all of that in PERQUE Detox In Guard, safely providing detoxification since 1987. PERQUE Detox In Guard, one of the original PERQUE formulas to protect from 21st and 20th century environmental toxins. You want to build glutathione. You want to have what is in PERQUE Detox In Guard. It includes some glutathione. It includes calcium and magnesium, but in high uptake forms. It includes a number of phase 1, phase 2, phase 3 detoxifying elements because we need all of them. So why not get all of them in a PERQUE Detox In Guard tabsule? A tabsule is a novel delivery system made up of all active constituents that delivers all the active constituents in ways that are uptake enhanced and chaperoned. And which do we need? Well, all of phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3 last time I checked. So, PERQUE Detox In Guard, a unique combination that enhances phase 1, phase 2, phase 3 detoxification all in one. Whatever the toxin is, it'll burden the liver. The liver is the first line of several detoxification systems to help make things water soluble and get excreted through the sweat and the kidneys. Phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. Phase 1 to metabolize, phase 2 to conjugate, phase 3 for lipotropics. We need all of them. If we only do phase 1, then we'll only get a part of the result. If we do phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3 together, we get a synergistic benefit. I suggest a synergistic benefit as PERQUE Detox In Guard, part of the PERQUE Detox program. So PERQUE Detox In Guard is indeed a lipotropic factor with minerals powerful detoxifier. It neutralizes cell acids so that the cell beneficially recharges itself and the battery works. And it boosts immune function so that the immune defense and repair system can defend you, repair you, and eliminate any cancer cells that have formed that day. Now, PERQUE Liva Guard Forté is one of the constituents, one of the pioneering products that PERQUE has introduced in the last few years to beat oxidative stress. It has a high psilocybin beta silymarin. It has mixed natural tocopherols and carotenoids. It has all of the tocopherols and tocotrienols. It has CoQ10 and D3, all in a single soft gel, all micellized together to protect and repair the liver, the spleen, and the kidneys. And you see 3 of the evidence-based references that support the use of PERQUE Liva Guard Forté, so that PERQUE Liva Guard Forté can protect the liver, can beat oxidative stress, and protect and repair the individual. PERQUE EPA DHA Guard is the preferred fish oil. It's distilled under nitrogen that protects it. It is fat soluble so that the toxins are removed. It restores cell membrane flexibility. Toxic minerals are removed. Magnesium actually protects the essential fatty acids. And here you see the beautiful soft gels that are the PERQUE EPA DHA Guard, arranged in a way that makes you remember that fish have both EPA and DHA, whereas algae only have DHA. Do you need EPA or DHA? You need both EPA and DHA. and they don't interconvert to each other, and the precursors don't convert to the EPA DHA very well. So you need both, you need both, you need all of EPA and DHA in sufficient amounts. I take 9 grams a day, but at least 1 and possibly 9 grams a day of EPA DHA in order to provide you the omega-3s that you need to balance out the omega-6s so that you too can have healthier oils. PERQUE Potent Guard, L-ascorbate 100% reduced and buffered is recommended. It repairs and renews better than other forms. If you see just ascorbate or vitamin C, it's synthetic. Half of it doesn't get in and irritates you, so the product is twice as costly but less beneficial. And ascorbate is the universal maternal antioxidant. Ascorbate is the mother molecule that sacrifices herself so that others can thrive. Ascorbate protects and enhances glutathione. It protects and enhances lipoic acid. It protects and enhances taurine. It protects and enhances all of those things, including tocopherol and selenomethionine, that protect and enhance electron flow in the cell. So ascorbate is the universal maternal antioxidant. It protects, it enhances. You need as much as you need based on your C cleanse so that the individual can determine how much ascorbate they need. If you don't do the C cleanse, take as much as you can. You'd be surprised how much you need in light of the oxidative stress today. So we recommend PERQUE Potent Guard. We recommend what you need based on the C cleanse or the amount you want to take. And we recommend the C cleanse because it personalizes the evidence to document how much the individual needs so that they can take what they truly need rather than what a random number suggests. If you want to know how to do the individual ascorbate oxidative stress C cleanse, we recommend that you take 1.5 grams if you're healthy, half a teaspoon, which is 1.5 grams of the ascorbate. You do that every 15 minutes. You do that 4 times in an hour. That means 6 grams every hour. And in an hour or two, healthy people will cleanse on half a teaspoon every, say, 15 minutes. If you've got a little bit of symptoms, you might want to double that to a teaspoon or 3 grams. If you're chronically unwell, you might want to start with 2 teaspoons or 6 grams, and you might want to do that every 15 minutes for a couple of hours. 6, 12, 24, 48 grams in a couple of hours, that's enough for most people to cleanse. But know that a lot of people need more. If you need to, before or during the cleanse, take probiotics, recycled glutamine, magnesium and choline citrate, as well as polyphenolics. But find out how much ascorbate you need to deal with the oxidative stress of the 21st century that you're under. This is several thousand people who did the C cleanse, and you'll see in this graphic representation that healthy people didn't need much. They were in the yellow small box, but that was only about 5% of the population. About 5% were only minimally symptomatic, and they didn't need much more. But 80% of the people under the green area of the curve needed between 10 and 120 plus or 130 plus grams. That's grams, not milligrams. That's 10,000 to 130,000 milligrams if you think in milligrams. And about 5% of the people needed over 130 grams to cleanse, and you need as much as you need. And then we recommend 3/4 of that amount spread through the day properly to meet your oxidative stress needs. We also recommend the urine after rest test, urine after 6 hours of rest. After 6 hours of rest, the urine equilibrates with the cells in the bladder or the kidney. So now you have a non-invasive measure of urine pH that tells you what the cellular metabolic acidosis status is, with the goal value pH of 6.5 to 7.5. Because excess acid wears you out. If you're less than 6.5, excess acid will wear you out and wear you down. The healthy zone is the middle path, 6.5 to 7.5, and catabolic illness will tear you down rather than wear you down. So more than 7.5 means you're too alkaline. We want the first urine after more than 6 hours of rest so that the urine equilibrates with the bladder and kidney cells. And now the first pH is a non-invasive measure of what's going on inside the cell. And if you're less than 6.5, you need more minerals, particularly magnesium and potassium. If you're 6.5 to 7.5, keep doing what you're doing. If you're more than 7.5, you're tearing down muscle, you're wasting ammonia, and stop doing that. With regard to biomarker solutions, magnesium, of course, is important. It is coupled with choline citrate when the uptake is blocked. So magnesium uptake block is overcome with choline citrate. We want 440 to 880 milligrams of elemental magnesium a day. That means 4 to 810 milligram elemental magnesium capsules. You want to take that along with a teaspoon of choline citrate, say 2 capsules and a teaspoon of choline citrate, 220 milligrams of elemental magnesium and a teaspoon of choline citrate. You take magnesium plus Guard from PERQUE along with choline citrate from PERQUE. So you take PERQUE Mag plus Guard and PERQUE choline citrate. And when you take the combination, then tiny nano droplets, neutrally charged tiny droplets form inside the intestines that can be easily taken up by neutral pores, even when the calcium magnesium ATPase is inhibited. So we want magnesium, 440 to 880 milligrams of elemental magnesium a day, combined with choline citrate, 2 capsules and 1 teaspoon, 2 capsules equaling 220 milligrams of elemental magnesium, taken with 1 teaspoon of choline citrate to enhance the choline pools, as well as to energize and alkalinize the cells. There are other tests that can be done to document the detoxification needs. D-glucaric and mercapturic in the urine are among those tests. D-penicillamine provocation for nutritional and toxic minerals, for essential and toxic minerals, can be done, and the protocols are described in the references on the bottom of these slides. So you can look at the urine for detoxification competence and how much detoxification burden the individual is under. D-glucaric acid and mercapturic acid are those. D-penicillamine provocation, urine essential and toxic minerals are additional tests that measure what we need and what we don't need. We want more of the good essential minerals. We want less of the bad toxic minerals. The D-penicillamine provocation tells us what's going on inside the tissues. This is a representation of the alkaline way in regard to what you eat. On the right, the more alkaline beneficial foods, the more acid you are, you want to counter that with more alkaline foods to neutralize the acids. On the left, you see the more acid foods, and you want to consume less of the more acid foods, more of the more alkaline foods, and this is in proportion to that first morning urine pH. So if your first morning urine pH is below 6.5, then you want to be taking more of the alkaline foods seen on the right of this slide. We make this available in digital and print form for use with individuals, consumers, and professionals so that it's easy for folks to tell which are the preferred and which are the not to be recommended foods and chemicals. The Alkaline Way brings healthy balance. The Joy in Living the Alkaline Way is the name of a monograph, a booklet that we have available in a digital as well as print form, and many health professionals and consumers use the Alkaline Way to bring healthy balance. The Joy in Living the Alkaline Way brings healthy balance by alkalinizing foods and waters that you can digest, assimilate, and eliminate without immune burden. It gives you a right balance of activity. It uses first morning urine pH to find out how many minerals you need. It looks at the need for magnesium, enhanced uptake with choline citrate, so that the magnesium will stay in, will first get in, and then stay in when it does, and then the many benefits that choline citrate provides. It includes abdominal breathing as a relaxation response. It includes green dichromatic light and sunlight to build vitamin D and immune competence, as well as other beneficial things that the skin does for you. It helps you eat in harmony with your nature and lifestyle. If you're young and physically more active, you can eat more calories. If you're older and less physically active, you want to eat less calories, but the quality of those calories matters at whatever age you are. You want to eat locally grown, vine-ripened, and organic or biodynamically derived foods as much as possible. And you want these organic and biodynamically derived foods to be those that you can digest, assimilate, and eliminate without immune burden. And if you can get foods from a community-supported agriculture CSA, if you can get foods from a co-op, if you can get foods from your own front yard food forest garden, we recommend that as well. We want to make restorative sleep a priority. Most of us work until we're exhausted and then we fall into bed. And I'm suggesting that a few minutes in the morning to stretch and reflect and a few minutes in the evening to stretch and relax are really helpful to evoke the restorative sleep that we all need and desire. Work muscles and relax in some balanced proportion. We want to be physically active. When you use your muscles, you send out signals that rebuild muscles, bones, and joints. When you just sit and are sedentary, those signals never happen. So we want to be physically active, but we also want to relax. We want to renew, but we also want to run around. So in proportion, be physically active and relax. We often hear about the leaky gut, and I'm going to explain it briefly. It means that the majority of our immune system, at least half, maybe as much as 75% of the immune system is within the gut. These were named for Dr. Pyers. They're known as Pyers patches. The patches are lymphoid-rich tissue that lines the digestive tract. A healthy intestinal lining has lots of surface area. If you laid a healthy digestive tract out and spread out the surface area, it would cover an entire tennis court. With inflammation, there's repair deficit. Cumulative repair deficit reduces the lining, and on the right you can see a damaged intestinal lining with much lower surface area and much less ability to digest, assimilate, eliminate foods competently. Taken together, this is called leaky gut. It has to do with the lining of the intestine, the gap junctions, the blood barrier, blood thyroid or blood intestinal barrier. It has to do with parasites that we become hospitable to and bacteria and viruses that we become hospitable to when repair deficits occur. It has to do with yeast and fungi that we become hospitable to when certain kinds of deficits exist. So we want to correct deficits and remove obstacles to recovery. We want to promote healing and evoke healing responses. We want leaky gut to not affect the people we take care of, and yet too many people have a silent digestive problem that includes leaky gut that is too poorly understood. Here's another case that we can look at briefly for a moment. It's another success of the PERQUE Detox program. Bess was a 40-year-old woman presenting with brain fog, fatigue, and soreness on her tongue. She was unable to take supplements because she was so sensitive. Her practitioner recommended a slow 3-month PERQUE Advanced Detox program. After that 3 months, fatigue was almost gone. She was clear-headed and wide awake. She repeated the heavy metal provocation that revealed lower lead levels. So Bess was able to get the lead out, and in proportion to that, she was able to think, she was able to be, she was able to live her life. She no longer was burdened with such, quote, brain fog, fatigue, and tongue soreness. Unexplained tongue soreness is often a sign of lead toxicity. And you would think that lead toxicity didn't exist anymore, but it's really much more common than we've given it credit for. Another case example to discuss with you in regard to the PERQUE Detox program is a case success for the PERQUE Detox program with Harvey, a 41-year-old fellow with fatigue and excessive drowsiness who did the 30-day PERQUE Advanced Detox program. After 30 days, good mental clarity and energy. He stopped after 30 days and felt worse. He became tired, sleepy, and lost his appetite. He restarted the PERQUE Advanced Detox program. He regained his appetite. He felt better. He added PERQUE Mag Plus Guard. He added PERQUE Choline Citrate based on the first AM urine pH. And he really proved to himself by going on, then off, then back on the program, how uniquely helpful, how beneficial, how personalized, how evidence-based is this PERQUE Detox program. Now, I've made passing reference to biomarkers. I want to briefly review the fact that there are 4 for which the evidence is very strong and 4 that are candidate predictive biomarkers. The essential predictive biomarker tests, those essential predictive biomarker tests that determine your functional age, the 4 of those essential predictive biomarker tests are hemoglobin A1C, high sensitivity CRP, homocysteine, and LRA. We recommend those in the higher sensitivity mode, but hemoglobin A1C to look at sugar, insulin, energy, and we want the goal value less than 5%. HSCRP, high sensitivity CRP, repair, inflammation, and immune tolerance status, we want that less than 0.5 milligrams per liter. Homocysteine, for detoxification, epigenetic methylation and sulfur metabolism less than 6 micromoles per liter, and lymphocyte response assay, immune memory and repair tolerance. And we want no delayed reactions. We want no burdens on the immune system. We want you to be able to digest, assimilate, and eliminate whatever you consume without immune burden. The other 4 candidate predictive biomarker tests include the first AM urine pH for mineral need and cell acidosis risk with a goal value of 6.5 to 7.5, vitamin D, 25 hydroxycholecalciferol, a vitamin D level and cell communication status measure, 50 to 80 nanograms per ml is the goal value, omega-3 index, the omega-3 to 6 EFA ratio, and you want a greater than 8% omega-3 in your ratio in your membranes. Then 8-oxoguanine, the oxidative stress and antioxidant status in the nucleus with a goal value of less than 5 nanograms per milligram creatinine. These are the 8 predictive biomarkers that we recommend. And in summary, a healthy immune system repairs you, it detoxifies you, it energizes you, and it deletes the cancerous abnormal cells that we make every day. In summary, functional cell cultures detect delayed hypersensitivities more accurately. HSLRA by ELISAC method is what we recommend, but some kind of functional, not static, not just physical, but functional cell culture to detect good and bad immune responses to what you eat and drink, including the environmental exposures. The Alkaline Way to comprehensive detoxification has been discussed here. It's a personalized antioxidant supportive nutrient intake and a lifestyle program that restores immune tolerance, that rebuilds and renews vitality, that helps you add life to years and years to life. It is the synthesis of what we have learned over the last 40 or 50 years. It's what we've used with parents, with loved ones, with children. It's what I use on a daily basis, and I recommend to you. So, Health Studies Collegium is pleased to sponsor this Rethink Health webinar on functional detoxification. May you all be well and happy. May functional detoxification help you survive the challenges of the 21st century. Russ Jaffe for functional detoxification. May you be well and happy.